We're doing a little science today with our steak. Here I have a nicely proportioned ribeye. It's very marbled. It's a beautiful, smaller steak, just one portion. And we're going to use a little science. One of the greatest things you can do to a steak to make it perfect and everyone will enjoy it is to have a good crust. So how do you get a good crust? What is a crust? Where does it come from and what does it want of us? A crust is a result of the Maillard effect, which is named after a French bloke that figured out why things get brown and tasty when you cook them. And why they do that is the amino acids in the meat break down, as do the sugars, and it creates the browning, the depth of flavor and color that we want. He also found out that they require an alkaline environment for that to happen the best that it can. So what we're going to do today is use a very simple ingredient to make the environment alkaline for the steak, and it has wonderful results. You're gonna love it. You should be doing it every time you cook a steak. Let's talk about it. This is quick and easy and fewer ingredients. So let's just look at them anyway. We have some butter that's going in the pan. So this is a pan-seared steak from beginning to end, all in the pan. No need to put it in the oven. It's all good. Gonna have some butter for that and some simply crushed garlic. Not crushed too much, just kind of slap down a little bit. Just slap that garlic down and that will go in the pan too. Other than that, we have some salt and the secret ingredient that is going to give us the alkaline environment that we need for the steak to get so happy it will giggle is baking powder. So we're going to just rub some baking powder on here, slap this in the fridge for a couple of hours, 1 to 2 hours, bring it out, put it in the pan, cook it up and eat it. First thing, if you're going to crust something, you're going to get something brown in the pan, it must be dry. It must be as dry as it can be. So we're going to just dab this steak and pick up any moisture and also discipline it to make sure that it was well behaved in the pan. That looks good to me. It's pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead now and some kosher salt over the top. Plenty of kosher salt. Don't be shy. Steak needs salt and stalt needs steak. Here we have the baking powder that's going on the top. Not too much, don't drench it, but rub it in. Give it a little rub until it looks something like this. That's the way it should look. We'll go ahead and do the same on the other side. This is so quick and easy, but it is so effective. It's amazing. And we'll just make sure it has enough there. That is basically it. We'll put this on a plate and we're gonna put this in the fridge. I already said 1 to 2 hours is enough. We'll be back and we'll talk about it then after it comes out of the fridge. And here it is, 2 hours later. It's looking beautiful now. It's dried out. It's not the same steak. I didn't want to wait 2 hours, so I had one in the oven earlier. It's very similar though, and it's how that one will look 2 hours from now.
You said you had it in the oven. Not refrigerator. Oopsie. Oopsie.
You know what? I'm a professional. And I know what I said, and I said it for a reason.
See if I was paying attention.
It's enough of that. This is so simple. We're going to take our garlic with us and our butter with us to the cast iron skillet. Have you ever forgotten how to speak English? Just suddenly language escapes me. Thank you very much. It's rather yellow, isn't it? I'm a trained professional. What's this again? That, in case you didn't guess, was me throwing water in there without water. A hot pan, oil in it, it's just starting to smoke. It's perfect to drop in our steak. We'll lay this away and we'll get a nice sizzle going there. Don't touch the steak. Leave it in position for several minutes. It varies a little bit, but normally 3, 4 to 6 minutes, really, depending on the actual temperature of your pan. This one's pretty hot. We'll leave it a few minutes. We'll lift an edge and see if it's browning nicely, and then we'll flip it. But don't push it around. Don't flip it and flip it back 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 and flip it back. Don't do that. Leave it in one place. It will brown perfectly. The touch method is best to figure out if this is medium, rare, well done, however you like it. It's by pushing here on your hand. This, when the steak feels like this, it's rare, and when it's like this, it's medium, and when it's like this, it's well done. This one is getting to the medium stage, even though we haven't flipped it yet. Let's see what the crust is doing when we flip this now. Beautiful, just perfect right there. I have turned on the extractor fan. I hope you can still hear me. This does get smoky. If you're cooking it at home, you're gonna need a good extractor fan to take this smoke out of your kitchen. At this point, after a couple of minutes on the other side, a couple of chunks of butter in here will really help with flavor and additional browning, just a very important step. And then our crushed garlic around just to bring the flavor to it. I don't like to put herbs and things on this steak. It's just perfect the way it is. Now the aroma of the garlic is hitting me and the butter. Oh my goodness, it's perfect. I think it's done. It's been a few minutes on this side. Lots of nice buttery oil all around and nice garlic flavor. So we'll just pull it out. Put it on our board here. This needs to rest now. As with all proteins, when you cook them, let it rest. 10, 15, 20 minutes of resting will equalize everything in there. I think we have a medium, maybe a medium rare, but we'll see once it's equalized, and we'll meet you back over there. And here we are. We rested the steak for 10 minutes. It looks superb. Never know till you cut in exactly how it's going to be. I prepared a little plate that we can add some tasty fries and a little asparagus on there, which is kind of a classic with a steak like this. And we'll just place this beautiful ribeye. It's on the bone, by the way. Doesn't really matter either way. Some people think the bone keeps the flavor and keeps it juicy. I don't know. It's just what they had at the store. But there's our plate. Beautiful French fries. Nice steak, some asparagus. It's a good dinner. My favorite part, just forced to taste this and see how we did. Let's hope that when we cut into this steak, it's juicy. This crust is absolutely beautiful. The flavor of that, I know, is going to be amazing. So we'll cut in. Let's try this little end piece. I love these pieces where all the fat is still there and the flavor. And if you look at that, it is just really nicely cooked. It's come out about medium on this section. We'll try another piece and see in just a moment. But the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. Let's try this. An amazingly flavorful crust makes all the difference to a steak. You are always welcome right here in the kitchen. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, whatever you have to do these days, do it all, and be sure to come back and see us next time.